Hey guys, my name is Fan and welcome to my tutorial. Today I'm going to talk about how you can get a ton of ruby crystals in the game Summoner's War Sky Arena. Now this is a mobile game and it's a game where you can pay money in order to get ruby crystals. However, today I'm going to show you guys how to get a ton of ruby crystals being a free-to-play player. I've been playing this game for about 2 to 3 months now, and I've pretty much been a completely free-to-play player. I haven't spent a single penny on the game, and as you can see, I've already gotten, almost 490 ruby crystals and about 1.6 million mana crystals. Now, at one point, I was almost up to 1,500 ruby crystals before I started spending it on other things. So I managed to get all of that in, approximately 2 to 3 months of casual play. And today I'm going to show you guys all the different ways that you can get the ruby crystals like I did. So first thing I want to talk about is the arena. And as far as the arena goes, there's 2 ways that you can get easy ruby crystals. The first way is from the weekly rewards. This is something that's based off of your PvP arena rank, and it resets every week. And as you can see, it resets to 1,000 points at the end of each week. So right now I'm at 1,000 points or slightly above, and my rank is Challenger, and this will get me 20 ruby crystals. Now, if you're new to the game and you don't have a very strong team yet, I suggest that you should try your best to keep your points above 900, because this is the threshold for getting 20 ruby crystals. If you fall behind that, you're only going to get 10. And it's actually very, very easy to keep your points above 900. If you're really struggling, you can keep refreshing the battle list here. And you can, for example, you see this refresh button here. So every time it's up, you can keep pressing it until you see someone weak. So for example, if I was scrolling through this list, I see this guy only has 900 points. And that's probably because other people have been beating him a lot, so most likely it means he's weak. So I would probably try and battle him, battle him there. Now, the next part I want to talk about is your rivals. And this is something that you unlock more and more of as you progress further into the story mode. So I actually recommend that you try to get as far as you can into the story mode at all times. And a big part of that is because of the rivals you unlock. So right now I have 5 unlocked, and as you can see, each of these pretty much give you 2 crystals each time you fight them, and that's pretty good considering the average time that each refreshes is about 12 hours. So if you think about it that way, you can probably fight each of these guys twice per day if you were really effective at timing it. And even if you only have 5 unlocked like me, if you can fight them each twice per day, that's 20 ruby crystals per day you're adding to your income from rivals alone. So this is something that's also very, very important, and I suggest that, if you guys haven't unlocked a lot of these, you should definitely try and unlock as many as possible. Okay, so those were the first 2, and both of those correspond to the arena section of this game. Now, the next thing I want to talk about here is your daily login. I can't show you this on my screen because I've already logged in, but basically what the daily login is every time you log in, the first time you log in that day, you're going to get a reward. And for each consecutive day you log in, you get another reward. And basically, for about every 10 days, the reward is ruby crystals, and I've seen something as big as 40 ruby crystals up in the rewards there. So it's definitely very, very good, and it's very easy to get these rewards. All you have to do is log in once per day, and make sure you don't miss a day, because that might break it. Now, after the daily login, I want to talk about the events. The events in this game are actually really, really fun, and one of the reasons why I like the developer Come To Us is because of their activity. You know, they are always adding new events, they're always updating the game, and I really do feel like this game has some very active developer support, which is really nice. So the most current event here is the update for the Trial of Ascension. Now, I'm going to just click into this one here. This one's a little unusual because I think it's a permanent addition to the game. Most of their other events are kind of limited time events, and most of them are much easier than this one just because this one's permanent and the rest aren't. But nevertheless, you know, the basics still stand. So here are the clear rewards for, you know, the Tower of Ascension, and as you can see, after you pass stage 40, you get 100 crystals, and after you pass stage 80, you get 300 ruby crystals. And obviously there's some other great rewards scattered here as well. And basically all of their events are going to be structured like this. Most of the temporary ones are much easier than the Tower of Ascension, and they also have these tiers of awards. And, you know, for most of them, I can get to the very last tier in about a day for the temporary ones. For the Tower of Ascension, it's actually much harder. I'm only on stage 25 right now. But, you know, this is something that's going to be a permanent fixture to the game. So I'll have plenty of time, and you will as well, to complete this one. But be on the lookout for those temporary events. Usually when you start up the game, if there's a temporary event, they're gonna display it in like kind of a news box before you can even open the game. So you're always gonna know when there's an event. Just be sure to keep an eye out for that and see what you have to do in order to fulfill the event, because it's actually very fun and rewarding as well. Okay, so after the events here, I wanted to talk about the next way you can get ruby crystals, and that's from the Crystal Titan. The Crystal Titan is this building right here, and what this building does is it generates 1 ruby crystal every 8 hours, so that's going to be 3 ruby crystals every day. Now, in addition to your crystal mine, which generates 2.4 crystals every day, this is actually very good because combined they generate 5.4 ruby crystals per day. And you know, if you think about adding that with your 20 crystals from the Rivals Arena, that's already 50 crystals per day. Or sorry, that's already about 25.4 crystals per day that you're getting. And this is without any of the other stuff, you know, this is without counting the weekly award from PvP, without counting your daily login rewards, without counting your event rewards. So you can see how much you can get already just on a very consistent basis without doing anything else. But so basically I'm just going to talk a little bit more about the Crystal Titan here. What you're going to want to do is, let me just scroll over here. So the Crystal Titan is located in the buildings section of the shop, and it is right here next to the Deep Forest Int and the Crystal Lake, and I believe it costs 300 ruby crystals. Now if you're gonna play this game, you should definitely try and get the Crystal Titan as soon as you can. So as soon as you get 300 crystals, make sure you get the Crystal Titan, because this thing is actually going to pay itself off very quickly in about a little over 3 months. And you know, if you're gonna play this game is definitely something to be playing for kind of a longer term, because it does take quite a while in order to assemble a good team, in order to constantly improve your runes and find better monsters, in order to, you know, improve your arena ranking. This game is actually very difficult compared to some other games, and it does take a while to master. So I definitely recommend getting the Crystal Titan as fast as possible. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is your daily quests. And your daily quests are basically in your challenge book right here. Let's see if it comes up here. Here we go. So your daily missions. You can actually get 10 ruby crystals a day just from your daily missions. One of the missions is actually use 20 energy and you get 3 ruby crystals for that. I've already done that one. It's a very easy quest to do. You should definitely be doing it every day. And the other one here is this one. And basically for this one you have to clear all your daily missions, and that's actually really easy to do. Just read through all the missions real fast. You know, each of them take like 2 minutes to do, and it's just extremely easy, and you should always be doing this if you're going to be playing actively. So this will give you 10 crystals every single day. So when you think about that and add that to our previous crystal count, you're going to be up to about 35 crystals per day without counting any of the other stuff. And that's just really consistent crystal income, really easy to get. And another reason why I like this game a lot, because you know, you can get the, so to speak, cash currency in the ruby crystals very easily, even though you're a free-to-play player. Now of course, if you're a cash you know, if you've already paid for this game, you can still utilize all of these things just as well. Okay, so one more thing I want to talk about is the achievements. And for the achievements, you can see there's going to be several achievements that are going to have ruby crystals as rewards. And as I scroll down, you can see there's a bunch of them. And just go ahead and, if you're bored, you can go ahead and click in and read what you have to do for these. For your case, you're going to have a lot more that are going to give you less ruby crystals. I've already cleared all of those achievements. Achievements are kind of like a one-time thing, so you know, they definitely boost your ruby crystal income, but they're not a consistent source of income. Okay, so that's about it. The only other way you can really get crystals from this game is from the shop here. It's actually something called free ruby crystals. So you're gonna want to click into the cash shop, and scrolling over here, you're gonna want to click the free mana crystals. And basically what this does is it gives you a bunch of offers here. And as you can see, all you have to do is install and run the app in order to get your crystals. It's very easy to do. Once you do this, the crystals just go into your inbox, and you have to accept it within 6 days. Sometimes they give you as many as 24 ruby crystals, and usually I'll do it if it's 24, but I'm a little lazy, so I won't do it if it's anything less than 24. Okay, so that's about it. The last thing I really wanted to talk about was the mana. I know that I haven't talked about mana at all really, but mana is actually also a very important part of this game, and the mana crystals are, you know, they're pretty much used in everything, so you definitely want a big supply of mana crystals. Now, looking at this, you know, once you have a bunch of ruby crystals, I would advise that you start buying mana crystals. Because otherwise you're just not gonna have enough. And what you want to buy here is you want to buy the box of mana. So you want to save until you have 1,000 ruby crystals. And I know that seems like it's gonna take a long time, but you know, trust me, you're gonna get there within 2 or 3 months pretty easily if you just follow what I've outlined already. And the reason why you want to buy the box of mana here is because it is a much better deal than any of these other ones. So this one is, for example, if you bought a bundle of mana for 30 crystals, just because you were in dire need of crystals or something, you're gonna get basically 1,333 mana crystals for every ruby crystal. However, if you buy this one, you're gonna get 2,100 mana crystals for every ruby crystal. So this one is actually almost twice as efficient as this one. So you really want to be buying the box of mana at all times, just because it's so much more efficient than any of the other ones. This is what I did, and you know, it actually gives you 1.4 million plus 700,000. So this gives you 2.1 million mana, and it's really great once you get it. So make sure you save up for this. It's by far the most efficient one, and I think it's one of the best uses of your ruby crystals, especially early on when you're kind of struggling for mana crystals. So that was all I wanted to really cover in this tutorial. I guess the one last thing I'm just going to talk about really fast here is first time clears in the Kairos dungeon. So here's the Kairos dungeon. Now anytime you clear something for the first time, for example if I battle this and win for the very first time, you're gonna get 5 crystals as a first time clear reward, and that's actually pretty useful for some of these, you know, especially for some of the halls of magic or halls of dark or fire or whatever. You can see there's a lot of different stages, and each time you clear one for the first time, you're gonna get 5 ruby crystals. So that's something you should always be doing. You should always be trying to clear as many of these levels as possible. And that's pretty much all the ways that you can get mana crystals in this game. Or, sorry, ruby crystals, that is. Short of buying them. But as you can see, it's very, very effective. And, you know, just clicking on the limited time here. Well, maybe I should show you this in the shop. So, let's say you wanted to buy the crystals in the shop, right? Now, as I said before, I was up to about 1,500 crystals, and you know, looking at that, that's basically over $50 worth of crystals. It's approximately $50 worth, and I got $50 worth of crystals just by playing for free in about 2 to 3 months, and that's something that is really extraordinary about this game, and this is something that anyone else can do as well. So if you like this game, I definitely encourage you to do all the things I said before, and if you like this video, please feel free to comment and subscribe, because I will be uploading a lot of new videos on Summoner's War Sky Arena in the near future. I'm going to be talking about some tips, tricks, and guides to the game as I progress, and I'm also going to be uploading some gameplay videos of high-level dungeons and high-level PvP in the near future. So thanks for watching, guys, and until next time.